So, we got some questions coming in, rolling in from the fans today.
Rolling.
First one is, what effect is technology having on the development of humanity? Where should we limit it, and where should we expand our use of it? Go.
It's a two-pronged question, so I'll answer the first part first, which is, how is it affecting the development of humanity? So, technology has an extremely long history. We look at technology in a modern sense with regard to phones, AI, medical technology, transportation technology, communication technology. And those are all relevant things, but we have to be aware of the long-term trajectory. The first technology may have been the harnessing of fire. I don't know if that's technically technology or not, but technology essentially is something that turns something into a machine. Is that the way to define technology? Can you define technology? Can you look it up?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, while she's figuring that out, there's a group of people in the 1500s called Luddites, and they hated technology, and they'd be in Europe, and there'd be new types of technologies, more primitive than what we have now, very obviously. But they would they would go to shops and destroy technology because they felt like it was keeping people away from nature and from themselves and from each other. So we have to be very careful to acknowledge the fact that technology has brought us to a very, very advanced place. Everything around me was made by technology, by principles of engineering, and by the ability to mass produce things with assembly lines, with chemical properties being studied in a manner that makes them useful. And it's the human mind that's been able to piece everything together to make technology as effective as it is. And one second, the very manner of communicating right now is through technology. There's a microphone here which is going through a wire instantaneously into the phone. You stream this over the internet, which is like invisible technology, and you're viewing it on a device, which is all technology. So that's just a background of what technology is before we get into the actual question. So what's the definition?
The application of scientific knowledge for the practical purposes, especially in industry. Machinery and equipment developed from the application of scientific knowledge, the branch of knowledge dealing with engineering or applied sciences.
Okay. Does fire count as technology then? Or a wheel? In any case, these are things that
carry out goals such as...
Yeah, so these are things that humans harness in the natural world to make things more efficient and make them better and to produce more things. So in the broad sense, technology has brought us almost everything that we see besides trees and nature and animals and so forth. So with regard to what effect is it having, it's having an incredible effect, an incredibly good effect. We have to be careful of it consuming us, though. The idea of computers taking over or of computers dominating our lives has been a prevalent one in science fiction and in just people's minds and ideas for the last 50 or 60 years. Even in 2001, A Space Odyssey, the 1968 film, it takes place in 2001, 33 years in the future, and it's basically about how this computer takes over the spaceship crew and terrorizes everybody there. I saw that movie once. It was a really strange movie, but interesting and not a forgettable one, actually. So, where do we want to limit it? I think technology as it is now with regard to phones and computers, they clearly make things immensely efficient. The issue is that they are huge and constant distractors. To say they take people out of the moment is an understatement. To say that it can diminish your ability to connect and communicate with people around you and your surroundings is an understatement. On one hand, it can open up the world through various social medias and email and phone conversations and video sharing and so forth. You can communicate with anybody around the world essentially instantly if they have the same program that you have or if you can send it. Uh, that's an unprecedented and amazing feat that maybe even 40 years ago would have been maybe in the realm of science fiction. And so it's very good. But with our limbic systems in our brains, which is essentially our animal brain, and with our propensity to be addicted, our propensity to crave information, the attention deficit that we can have just by constantly having a phone around us is tremendous, and we should all be careful about it. Like Eckhart Tolle says that he thinks that within 2 generations we can have a civilizational collapse simply due to the attention deficit, because you need focus to create anything. And if your ability to focus is diminished by the fact that you can constantly just look at something which gives you a shallow dopamine rush and satisfies an unnecessary craving in your mind for more and more and more information, and the fact that it diminishes your ability to develop attention, you know, that can block so much creativity. It can block so much strength building. It can block so much peace of mind because you're always wired in. And the way media is distributed today as well, it's constantly available. And one of media's purpose is to inform. And one of the things that they do, because it galvanizes people more, is they speak to things that are negative, because those are the deltas, right? Like if everything is fine but there's one negative thing, your mind wants to know what that negative thing is. So media is generally negative, and it's ever present. It's ever present. And with the way that algorithms and people's social media feeds work, you're generally going to find media that already confirms the biases that you already have. So not only are they negative, they confirm what you already know and then move you further and further in that direction. That could be political, it could be with regard to a specific issue, it could be with regard to anything. And that is causing a lot of polarization politically. And I spoke to that in my American Unity speech, that social media creates echo chambers in which the worst, I think I'm reciting this now, I practiced it so many times, the worst aspects of each side are highlighted by the media and brought, populates in people's minds further and further. So from an attention deficit standpoint, it's a very, very important thing. And from a awareness that what you're seeing on your feeds generally is a reflection of what your own mindset is. It's not 100%, but people seek out what they want to be confirmed, and they find people to agree with them. So in all these ways, technology can be harmful. So we'll see about the future, with AI, an AI takeover. People have different opinions on that. I think Elon Musk says that it's a very pertinent threat. I think people like Zuckerberg say that it's not, and that we should use the technology to enhance ourselves and so forth. What's the rest of the question? Where should we limit, and where should we expand our use of it? I think we should limit it at the dinner table. I think we should limit it when we're talking face to face with people. When we're watching movies, we should focus on the movie. Computers, TVs, like you can get texts on your TV now, you can get phone calls on your TV. Everything is more busy than it used to be, and it takes the purity away from the moment. And our life is not dictated by the infinity of things that happens within them. Is dictated by the quality of experience we have as we're living it. And quality of everything is diminished when there's no proper focus and attention. Like when I'm playing tennis, I'm limiting my usage of checking texts and sending texts when I'm sitting down for breaks. Because when I do look at text, then my mind gets on the thing that I was just texting about. And when I'm playing tennis, I'm not focused 100% because I'm thinking, what's that person thinking? Why did they say that? Why haven't they responded? What are they going to say? And then my mind is in another world. So the tapering of cell phone usage is a major thing that I think we all need to put a lot of focus on. With that being said, so I think we should limit it in that sense. I think we should expand it with regard to our ability to look at more information. I think the fact that we have the average person has more information at the tip of their fingers than someone in Babylon 2,000 years ago had, if they had the best library in the world. I think that's a very good thing, and that people should use that to make the most of their lives, to know the most about the world as possible. Information is an extremely valuable gift. It is one of the things at the heart of education, and if people know how to leverage it correctly, they can learn and utilize this extremely powerful tool to create shockwaves within their life, within their understanding of a lot of things. All the information is out there and it's easily accessible. So there is a very bright future because of the technology that we have, provided we know how to use it correctly, provided we don't get carried away with the myriad of like useless things that just keep popping up constantly and getting engaged with them, provided we can be specific about what we want to find and then find it and focus on it intensely and singularly, then we can really create a much better world, actually. And the more people who are empowered with this type of information, the better they can do for themselves, for their societies, and for the future of humanity that takes place after they do. So those are my thoughts on technology. If you like this video, please like it, please comment. If you have any questions you'd like me to answer, please drop it in the comment. Please share this with anybody that you think would benefit from it. And that's all I gotta say for now. My name is Jay Shaw, and I hope you enjoyed this video.